September is a crucial time in the garden. Thank you. I appreciate that more than you will ever know. September is a very important month in the garden. It's not just about what you can grow in the fall and winter, but it's also about what's going to be the most productive. Often the winter is considered a throwaway season. It's considered things don't grow well, but today I'm going to talk about 5 of the top crops that I feel are the most productive to start in September. Let's get to it. The first crop I want to talk about is collards. Collards, to me, they're the superstar to my garden. I love growing collards. I love the fact that you really, let's say a family of 4, you really only need 2 to 3 plants because you can just keep cutting it and it'll keep coming back all fall, winter, and into the spring. Collards is one of those crops that it actually gets better when it gets cold and like gets that frost on it. The sugars in it actually act as a protectant for it, and so when it gets cold, those sugars, come up and they get really infused in it, and the collards taste a whole lot better when grown in the fall and spring, well, in the fall and winter, versus if you start some in the spring. If you've never started any in the fall before, I highly recommend them. You only need a couple plants and they will perform year after year, hands down. Collards, #1 most productive plant, or most productive crop that I grow in a fall or winter garden. So for collards this year, I'm growing Top Bunch. It's the first year I'm growing that one. I'm looking forward to that one. Top Chop, I grew last year for the first time. Absolutely excellent. That's Top Chop. Georgia Southern Collard, I've been growing that one since I've been gardening, and so that's always a staple in my garden. Alabama Blue Collard, first time I'm growing that one is this year, and I'm also growing I think that's the only 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so that's the 4 that I'm growing this year. #2 on my list is kale. Kale is another one of those powerhouses. A lot of people overlook it, but it'll grow all fall, winter, and into the spring as well. I've had kale go an extremely long time, 9 months out of the year, and it's just one of those, you can cut it, it'll keep coming back. You don't need to plant a lot of it, but you can also fit a lot of it into a small space. So kale is one of those ones that's going to produce year after year. Very little maintenance to it. You give it a balanced pre-plant fertilizer and throw some organic matter in your soil. Hey, you're good to go. You're good to go. Keep it watered, and kale will produce and will be, well, it's definitely a staple in my garden. For kale, my staple, lacinato kale. You can't go wrong with lacinato kale. I grow that one every year. Scarlet kale, I grow every year. And Blue Ridge kale, I grow every single year. I like to make a kale salad. So what I'll do is I'll grow all 3. I'll cut them all at the same time, mix them into a nice salad, sprinkle some nuts or something over them, with a little balsamic vinaigrette, and man, I love it. I love it. I love it. Next thing on my list, garlic. I got a whole bag of garlic here that I grew last year, saved it for this year. I got 69 cloves in there. The thing I love about garlic is, 1, it doesn't take up very much space. I like that it's productive in the manner that it grows exponentially. So out of those 69 cloves, right, let's say next year I'll get 69 bulbs, hopefully. And from those 69 bulbs, I'm gonna get 4 to 5 cloves off of that. So we're talking about, you know, a 5x, let's say 4.5 times return, and for very little effort. You put down a pre-plant fertilizer. I like to use the Complete Organic from Hoss. I side dress them twice during the growing season. Once it gets about 6 inches tall, and then once it gets about a foot tall, I side dress them with a potassium rich fertilizer, and I let it go. And I'm telling you, they produce. They absolutely produce. So for the reason why I put them on this list is because they take up such a small footprint, but they produce such a large amount. So that's why they are on my list of most productive fall and winter crops to put in your garden. So the fourth crop that I put on this list, onions. Almost the same reasons that I put garlic on the list. Onions, very productive. If you take into consideration, let's say this packet has 250 seeds, onion seeds in it. Let's say this packet costs $3. So for $3, you can get 250, let's say 200 to be conservative. You get 200 onions out of it for very little effort, and it takes up very little space in your garden as well. This year, I'm growing the Red Angel. It's a red onion, hence the name. The Texas Super Sweet, I think everybody knows about the Texas Super Sweet. The Savannah Sweet, growing that one this year. The Red Creole, I've grown that one in the past before. And the powerhouse of the group, the Vidora onion. If you haven't grown the Vidora onion, I'm telling you, go pick it up right now. Add it to your fall and winter garden. You still got time. I'll be starting these seeds in the month of September. I'm gonna take y'all along with me. I'm gonna show you some different planting methods, and I'm gonna actually start my seeds in different planting methods and show you how easy it is to grow onions from seed. And y'all know, I gotta redeem myself. I talk about it in every video. I got to redeem myself. So stay tuned for that video. Last but not least on the list, and I don't have any out here with me right now, I still got a while before I need to plant them, is carrots. Carrots, carrots, carrots. You can get so many carrots in a small area. Carrots is another one of those that down here in the South, we overwinter our carrots. They get sweeter as the frost hits them. You come early spring, excuse me, and you're gonna have a huge harvest of carrots with very little effort. Okay, initially you got to keep the weeds down on them. Same thing with the onions, same thing with the garlic. You got to keep the weeds down on them initially, but after a while with the carrots, it builds a canopy over the top. Perfect weed suppression. All you got to do, make sure you keep it wet but not soggy. And I mean, I would fertilize it kind of like how I do my onions and how I do my garlic. I hit them with that Complete Organic at planting. I will direct seed those as well. I will not transplant carrots. I will side dress them with a phosphorus rich fertilizer, maybe once, maybe twice, because once that canopy gets over it, it's kind of hard to side dress, you know, but yeah, and then you just leave them. You let them go. Make sure they got water on them. Hey, harvest and with very little effort, very productive. So that's the top 5. If I had to throw in some honorable mentions, I'd throw in stuff like beets, turnips, fast turnaround on those. You know, most of them 30 to less than 30 is, I say 30 to 50 days to harvest. You can succession plant those, get them in back to back to back. If you intensely plant them, extremely productive. The reason why I did not put them on my list because I just feel that there's some other things that would be more prolific. You have to worry about certain things like spacing more on those, and you can't pack them in there like you could do like carrots or something like that. Also, another one grows well, broccoli, but I wouldn't put it on my list of most productive because you cut the head off of it, and it may shoot out some side shoots, but you don't get the groceries that you're gonna get from some of the other items that I put on this list. So, oh, I needed to tell y'all another honorable mention would be lettuce, and it all depends on how you harvest it. You know, I got these lettuce right here from Mary's Heirloom Seeds called Grand Rapids lettuce, Ariana lettuce, Tatsoi greens, Mizuna mustard greens. Mustard greens is another one that could go on the list. Garden sorrel, very productive. But some of those you can harvest as one head. You know what I'm saying? So if you do that, I don't consider those to be as productive as cut and come back. Now, some of these you can cut it and it will grow back. So depending on your harvesting methods, those right there are very productive, but a lot of those will not make it through the winter. And so I went with some more winter hardy crops for my list. But by all means, let me know in the comments what you consider to be some very prolific, very high producing crops that you grow in the fall and winter. Let me know if hey, some of y'all up north, it may be too cold for most things, unless you have a heated greenhouse or something like that. But definitely let me know in the comments what you think about the list, and maybe what you would add onto the list and what you would take off of the list. I really appreciate your comments, and hey, that's all I got for you. I'll see you in the next video.